Google Analytics is one of the most popular tools you can use for free to track activity in your membership site, view information about e-commerce conversions and how your funnel's doing, and also track custom dimensions about the membership level of people viewing your site. This is all possible with the new Paid Memberships Pro Google Analytics integration that's compatible with GA4, the latest iteration of this analytics tool. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate installing the add-on, configuring settings in both Google Analytics and your membership site, and then how you can test to see that the integration is working. Okay, here's my demo site. I used this in a previous tutorial. This is the Cadence theme for WordPress, but this is possible with any WordPress theme. So I already have Paid Memberships Pro installed. I already have it all configured, all my levels set up. So I'm just going to navigate to Memberships Add-ons, and I'll search for Google Analytics to install and activate. This is a standard level add-on, so it needs a standard license or higher to use the add-on. So I installed and activated the plugin. Once this is installed and activated, I can navigate to Settings, PM Pro Google Analytics, and this will bring up the basic settings page for this add-on. There's a lot of Google Analytics plugins out there for WordPress. There's Monster Insights, there's GA Google Analytics, there's Rank Math, I think that's another one. All of these tools have their own way that they interface with Google Analytics and custom tracking. You don't need any other analytics plugin in your WordPress site to use this one. It's complete just in itself. So it'll do all of the default tracking of Google Analytics, page views and interactions and demographics and all those things you need, with a few added features just for membership sites, like knowing the user's membership level as a custom dimension, and e-commerce tracking of the Paid Memberships Pro checkout process from viewing levels, viewing the checkout page, and completing checkout. So let's get it set up. The first piece of setting is to get your measurement ID. This is part of your Google Analytics account. I already have a property set up here, so I'm going to create, an account set up. So I'm going to create a new property, and we'll just call it our demo add video here. Cool. And then there's settings, we'll call ourselves a medium size team. It asks these are required. What kind of site was this? This is just kind of like an informational site. We'll call it that. What are our objectives? Those sound good. I think this is all just reporting for them. I don't know that it's used in your site. So now it asks how you're going to start collecting data. We're going to collect on the web. So it's going to ask for your website URL. Let's just go back to this demo site and copy that out. Oh, it doesn't want the HTTP. And we'll call this, my demo website. Cool. You can adjust some settings for what's tracked by default. I'm going to leave all the defaults here and click Create Stream. Now, the thing that I need from this is this measurement ID. It starts with the capital letter G dash and then some number. So I'm going to copy that. And I'll just take that value and paste it here in this site. So let's talk through the other settings after I save this so we know we're connected. The next setting is about e-commerce tracking. By default, this add-on is going to track the flow from viewing the membership levels page, which levels are present there, viewing a checkout page if anyone clicks through, and then ultimately completing checkout and completing a conversion. So if you wanted to adjust that setting to only do that tracking for certain levels, if you don't need it or care about it for your free levels, let's say, you could adjust that setting here. But I'm going to leave it by default. And then this last setting is about disabling administrator user tracking. I would recommend checking this box, but because I'm already logged in as an admin, I'm just going to leave it unchecked so that we can properly test our integration. So if you're testing as admin and it's not working, it's because you maybe checked that box. Just make sure that you uncheck that while you're doing some testing. But overall, you're logged into your site a lot. You could influence analytics if you're a very heavy user of the site or if you have other users logged in and stuff. So I'm just going to save settings. That's all the defaults. So let's just look at what's happening now. Nothing changes on the site. If you viewed the source of your site, you would see that your analytics code is in place right here. And, you don't really have to look at any of this, but if you're a developer here watching, you'll see some information that are being tracked. So a default currency of your site that's always set in this add-on. It is tracking user ID. You can disable this if you want, if you didn't want that granular of tracking. The post type of the post being viewed, author, and then some user properties. So what I'm going to do next is pop back over to my analytics. And now that this is set up, we're going to go back to the property and analytics. And we're going to manage something here called let's navigate here. Custom definition. So custom definitions are some custom values that analytics doesn't by default track or care about. but there are part of this integration, and they're interesting values, I think, to track in your WordPress membership site. So there's 4 of them that we add. I'm going to add those here. The first one is the membership level of the person viewing the site. It's a user scoped event, and its value is membership level. The next one is post type. You have to manually create these. It's scoped on the event, which is just kind of like site content, page content on your site. There's also author, so the author of the content being viewed. If you have a multi-author blog, that might be something you want to add. If not, you can filter it out and not track it. And then the last is the category of the post content being viewed, which is also an event parameter. So we have to create those custom dimensions in Google Analytics. The e-commerce stuff is just happening by default. So now we're set up. All of that's being tracked on both sides. How can you test that this is actually working? So if you go back, let me close this. All right, so we're going to take our URL, and then there's a special tool called Google Tag Assistant. You just go to tagassistant.google.com and enter the URL of your website that has an analytics tracking built in. So when you do that, it opens your website in a new browser, and it kind of is running this tracking information. So I'm going to just click around the site. I'm going to visit the blog. I'm going to visit a single article. This means we've triggered kind of a page post type view and a post type view. So we can see what are the most popular pages on our site, what are the most popular posts on our site, and who's the author of those posts. When we get to the membership levels page, we can click to purchase a level. That'll initiate that we viewed the item, and then we began the checkout process by filling in some information here. And then when we actually complete the checkout process and get to the confirmation page, that'll trigger the purchase event in Google Analytics. So we're still in debugging. Let's finish this debugging, and then we'll look back at all that happened here, which is a little hard to decipher, but the things we're really looking for here are, you'll see here, like this add to cart event. This was an event that was sent when we went from our levels page to our checkout page. And then you can look at what's called the data layer. This is information that'll eventually show up in Google Analytics in the dashboard about that e-commerce purchase. So it has the name of the item, the ID of the level, the price that people were paying. If there was a coupon code in the cart, you would see that piece here. Here you see that purchase event, which is the final checkout. We actually got to the site. Let's look at this is what it looks like when people view the membership levels page. They're viewing items, which is just like being on a single e-commerce, like a WooCommerce product single page, visiting a post on the site, right? So here's visiting a post on the site. We had a page view event. If you look here, you'll see some custom event information, post type, author, category, and the membership level I was logged into as an admin with a level 3. So this validates to me that the analytics is properly set up, that it's tracking e-commerce, that it's tracking our custom definitions. I will click over to analytics and show you what happened on the Google Analytics side. The reporting isn't instantaneous. It does take some time. So let's go to home, and then we'll view. It says our data collection is active. It could take 24 hours to appear. There's one user. If we go to reports real time, we might see some data about pages viewed. We'll see some information about membership level by user property membership level, which I was logged into level 3. So you see that's tracking correctly. ID 3 had one user visit. We had a purchase event, which is a conversion. And then we also had these add to cart, begin checkout, and view item events. I'm not sure if it really goes into if the e-commerce purchases event. That takes more time to show up. So we won't see that data yet until like tomorrow. I think it's about 24 hours. But you can see in real time some of the data is actually collecting, which is great. Our integration works. It's pretty simple to set up. It's not as robust as like a Monster Insight. So if you also are using WooCommerce on your site, you might need to have both set up. I'm not sure how that would work, but this is the only one that has that e-commerce tracking built in for Paid Memberships Pro Checkouts experience. I'm Kim Coleman. I hope this was a useful tutorial. We have a lot of blogs on our site about Google Analytics, and they all show like a code-based approach with snippets and lots of settings in Tag Manager. So I'm excited that this add-on is here now for you all to use with no-code tools. Check out our other videos on this channel and give us a subscribe to be notified when we publish more. Thanks.